Hello, my little fuzzy bat butts, and welcome to another Tuesday Q&A video. These videos are sponsored by Vampire Freaks, so please be sure to follow the links I have down below in the description bar to Vampire Freaks' website, where you can find more fun information and more of these Tuesday Q&A videos. Also, if you would like to suggest a topic for future Q&A videos, please send me a private message on my Vampire Freaks page of what topic you would like me to talk about, and I would be more than happy to tackle that topic for you. Today's question I'm going to be tackling is something I get asked very often on social media. It seems like something that would be easy to answer, but I feel like there's so many opinions and viewpoints on this that it could go in many directions. So please feel free in the comments below to voice your opinions and let me know what you think. I think that everyone should have a different opinion on this, since we are all different people, and it'll be interesting to see what you guys have to say as well. The question that I have been asked is, can you be goth without dressing goth? I think what's really important is that we don't get hung up on the word goth, because after all, it is just a label and it's just something we use to help describe things faster so that we won't have to go into detail and like explain every little thing we're into. If we just say goth, then it's easy and people typically know what you're talking about. And I feel like people shouldn't get too concerned about a term, and they shouldn't try to put themselves in a box and live by invisible rules so that they fit in this term that someone has made up for the scene. As long as you're happy and you're being truly organic to who you are and you're living the life you want to live, then that's all that matters. So, do I think people that don't dress goth are still goth? I don't really care, honestly. They can dress however they want to dress, and if they are bringing something to the scene or if they enjoy the scene, who is anyone to tell them that they're not goth? Instead of looking at the subculture's names or the invisible rules or the certain ways that you have to be in the subculture, I think that could be really toxic. And I think instead of looking at those things, you should look at how the things are making you feel, and if you are drawn to them and if it is something that you're into. So with that being said, if someone doesn't dress goth, that's purely aesthetic, and you know what? If they're not into the aesthetics, then that doesn't take away from the music they might be into, or the literature or art or whatever, or the contribution they can make to the scene. It doesn't take away from that. And I think it's because aesthetics don't matter and labels don't matter. If that person has a really fucking amazing knowledge of a band or literature or things that can contribute to the subculture or that other people within the subculture are into, then why could they not be included within the subculture simply because of what they're wearing? That's something that's purely aesthetics and shouldn't be a main defining factor on someone's knowledge and what they can contribute. So the clothing, I feel like, was secondary in the Gothic movement. I feel like what it was originally had to do with music, art, literature, things of that nature. I feel like the clothing part kind of played a role later on, and it was just a fun way to be tongue-in-cheek. So as far as goth being something where you have to dress the part to be it, I don't really believe that. We can use this example of a businessman. If he is outside of his work, if he, I don't know, maybe he's out in public enjoying himself, and because he doesn't have his business suit on, that doesn't make him any less of a businessman. He still goes out every day and he still does all of his transactions and his deals, and he's on top of his shit, like he knows what he does. So because he's out in public, not in a business suit, it doesn't take away his knowledge within what he does every day of his life. Now, if we take that same concept and we look at the Gothic subculture and say we take someone that wears polos and just like regular jeans, or someone that dresses super normal, but they also are super into the Gothic subculture and they know all about the bands, they can suggest beautiful new bands, they're into the literature, the art, or they just like they contribute to the scene. And because they don't dress in all black or because they don't look a certain way, does that take away their credibility in the scene? I don't think so. I think that they're still goth. We could look at someone who dresses head to toe in awesome gothic clothing and legit just looks really, really badass, but they don't know anything about the scene. They don't know any of the bands. They don't contribute. They don't know any of like literature. They didn't even understand there was literature there, and like they don't have like this basic knowledge, but they dress the part and they look really fucking badass. Does that make them goth? See, what if we turn it that way instead? Does it make them goth just purely because they dress in the fashion? In closing, I think what's really important is not so much what you're putting on your body, or not so much the term goth, because I use the term goth, but I use it because it's a catch-all type phrase. It's something you can say and people automatically, their brain will jump a certain way, which would be easier to have them go towards than me having to individually describe every little thing that a video is about, or having to describe every little thing I'm into. If I just say goth, I don't have to describe everything I'm into because their brain will automatically jump to that term, and usually it'll be pretty on par to the things that I'm into. I hope this video made sense. I look forward to reading your comments and your viewpoints on this topic as well. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel, and I will see you again very, very, very soon. Mwah! Tschüss! Tschüssi!